Everyone, welcome. We are excited to participate in this year's Scotiabank Climate Action Challenge.
The Samaritan House in Brandon is Manitoba's second largest food bank. They provide between 80 and 100 food hampers per day, with 20,000 hampers distributed per year. Food banks face serious shortage of donation and demand is rapidly increasing. They need more than 147,000 pounds of food each year to provide for their clients' needs.
Fresh produce is in desperate need. The prices for fresh produce are increasing at an alarming rate, making it harder for families to attain. Over the last few years, the vegetable index has increased by over 18%, while the food index has only increased by 3.1% in Manitoba. In 2021, this means an additional $411 to the average Canadian family's grocery bill. This large increase in costs makes basic nutrition harder to achieve.
In 2012, our team conducted a needs assessment with the Samaritan House on hunger in Brandon. This assessment revealed that demand on the food bank had doubled in the last 10 years. Since then, it has more than doubled yet again, to be more than 1,800 people per month.
At Enactus Brandon, we saw a way to combat this, and we created Green Futures.
Today, we would like to share our story on how we saw a need, came up with an idea, empowered our community, and impacted our city in a positive and a sustainable way.
Partnering with the Samaritan House, we came together to develop a community garden that would provide families fresh produce and empower those who relied on the food bank.
We found low-income participants who didn't have the opportunity to create a garden for themselves, many of whom already personally rely on the Samaritan House for assistance.
We built 81 raised garden beds, and our community garden, Green Futures North, was born.
With 81 gardening beds, each producing approximately 45 pounds, we can produce more than 3,600 pounds of vegetables. Additionally, we have a large in-ground plot growing food directly for the food bank, which produced 400 pounds of food last year. At a cost of approximately $4.35 per pound at the store, we have generated nearly $17,600 of economic impact.
Roughly 8% of an individual's carbon footprint comes from buying food, and of that, 30% comes from transporting the food to the store. By growing food in our gardens, our participants significantly decrease their carbon footprint. This results in a substantial environmental impact. For every pound of produce grown locally, instead of buying it at a store, roughly 2 pounds of CO2 is eliminated. With 4,000 pounds, each sequestering 2 pounds of CO2, Green Futures North alone eliminates 8,000 pounds of CO2 per year. This past summer, we worked with 19 local families to help them grow fresh vegetables. Any of our garden beds that are not used by community members are dedicated to growing food for the food bank itself, to ensure that we are maximizing our impact. This year alone, we were able to grow and donate over 1,700 pounds to donate to the Samaritan House.
Our team has faced many challenges along the way. Due to COVID-19, we were unable to provide community tools to help our gardeners over the past few summers as we normally would.
However, by utilizing our wonderful team of 12 volunteers, we were able to till users' gardens for them and established a tool loan program that allowed gardeners to borrow whatever tools they needed for the season.
In the near future, we intend to expand our community gardening program to make it bigger and better than ever. We are able to double the size of our northern gardens. This enables us to provide more garden beds for our community, grow more food for the food bank, and experiment with possible expansions.
As we expand, a portion of the garden will be dedicated to microgreen production. Our goal is to sell our microgreens at local farmers markets, restaurants, and provide them for use at the Samaritan House Food Kitchen. This expansion will allow us to hire one full-time person for the maintenance and management of our gardens. Our long-term goals are to turn our garden into a sustainable social enterprise.
We are also in preliminary talks with our partners at the Samaritan House to create another community garden in central Brandon that will provide food beds for residents of a nearby retirement home and even more space for the food bank.
With our Green Futures initiative, we are successfully decreasing one of Brandon's biggest problems: hunger, by giving our community the knowledge, access, and ability to grow food all on their own. Over 4,000 pounds of vegetables.
$17,500 of economic impact.
8,000 pounds of CO2 eliminated.
Nearly 1,000 people were impacted.
Together, we are committed to creating a greener, brighter, and better future.